There we go. All our alerts are off. It is Triumph Tuesday. Good evening, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live with two.
Sisters, hey, good evening, everyone. It's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 on this Tuesday. Trace DeMaio, and a very happy anniversary to our cousin Ralph and his beautiful bride, Anne Marie. Wishing them all the best, of course. Triumph Tuesday. What are you triumphing over?
Oh boy, there is a lot that I can say about triumphing over, from trying to maneuver, health and wellness with when you are starting a challenge and I'm just getting off and I'm kind of detoxing from Mike being here and all his cooking. To eating a meal out earlier, and actually it's so funny, you realize how much salt people add or restaurants add to food, and just how it plays havoc on your gut, how it plays just that tightness, that feeling. So the last few days I've been trying to kind of detox from all that sodium, which does place now. Sodium is not totally a bad thing, because we need a certain amount of that. But when you happen to go out, or when you're traveling and you're vacationing, and or you're used to cooking a certain way, so plant-based food, plant-based menu, to going out and just even having one meal out. But with Mike's cooking, which he was practicing a whole bunch of different recipes, I'm still finding that I'm still detoxing. So it's been a struggle to get that water in, to really flush out that system of getting rid of those toxins, the salt. And then by the end of the night, you're trying to get in at least 64 ounces for me anyways, or more. Your stomach starts to feel like a washing machine. So my struggle has been consuming a lot of water.
Yeah, the water factor for me too has been a lot. I try to do at least 60 to 70 ounces a day. And, sometimes depending on what area of the house I'm in, let's just say that, there's always a facility very close by.
It's true, because when you are flushing your system out and then you're consuming all that water, that not only are you taking in the fluids, but you're also expelling them at the same time. And yeah, water works. Like you just, and my thing is, I've been really good about making sure that I'm on point and getting all my fluid in. But then, of course, the disruptive sleep sometimes, depending on how late I'm drinking that water. So I still have about 20 more ounces to go. God help me, I'll get it in. But it's been a struggle. So I'm pretty excited that I'm slowly kind of diluting my insides and getting back to the norm of things.
Yeah, and sometimes that's hard, getting back into that routine, or you'd mentioned sleep, and when you have those occurrences where because of the respectable age bracket that you may be in or may be entering, you have to get up. And I'll just leave it at that. And, I was curious because usually, with a new month comes like a new awareness kind of month. And of course, May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
And it's also, and I was looking for the military name, and the name escapes me right now. I was just trying to find it, but I know that I believe it's something like Military Awareness Month. Now, I'm sure I got the verbiage wrong, but of course, a shout out to our family and friends and those we don't know, who serve in the military service. And excuse me, so many amazing things happening this month, of course, and so many things. Oh my gosh, sometimes I don't know where to begin or what to chat about, but I will say something about something. Maybe it's nothing about nothing, but you think about, different events, happening in your area. For instance, the other day, I know that they had the Denise DeCenzo uh, charity walk. She was a very public figure with WFSB Channel 3 in Hartford, and died suddenly. And I want to say it's been about 2 years or so. But it's so nice to see those type events that bring the community together, and share awareness, and raise money for such, for her foundation, which goes to all sorts of amazing charities. And yeah, and oh, by the way, I like your top there, pretty
Oh,
colors.
thank you. Yeah, it's got the little tie dye going on. To go back to what you were talking about, they actually call it National Military Appreciation Month, which started, I believe, in 1999 for the military. So
Oh, thank
that's
you for
what
that.
May is. Yeah, Military Appreciation Month. That's exactly what they call it.
Yeah, they were mentioning that on the news tonight too, and I'm like, oh, I got to remember that. And then,
Yeah.
of course,
And that's awesome. I think that they definitely deserve that honor and that recognition, because we have Veterans Day, you have Memorial Day, and everyone, somehow messes the two up of versus, an active member versus someone that lost their life. So I do like that they just have a plain old Military Appreciation Month, because regardless of whether you are currently serving, have served, or made that ultimate sacrifice, I also would like to hope that at some point they might do Military Family Appreciation Month, because the military families also sacrifice. The same thing with, or either that, or, maybe families, anyone that's related to somebody that serves, whether it's a police officer, a trooper, a fireman, or someone in the military. I think that they really should have a family month, because all those families also are part of that sacrifice that their loved one, I can't imagine that feeling of knowing the position that your loved one has and the risk involved, that every time they walk at that door, you don't know whether they're coming back. That is a calling that many that enter into that relationship with that loved one, whether it's a marriage, whether family, whatever it may be, don't always choose that life. It's their loved one that chooses it. So while the loved one may get the calling to do that, because I believe it truly is a calling to do those types of professions, that particular family member, spouse, whatever it may be, connected to that loved one, is also unbeknownst to them making that commitment. And they sacrifice on so many levels, from an emotional level of once that loved one leaves, that, says goodbye, they walk out that door, having that constant feeling that you never know if that's the last time you're going to see them. And that's an acquired lifestyle, let's say it, from a mindset perspective. And a lot of times they have to triumph over those feelings of, you just got to be positive and hopeful they're going to do their job and they're going to come home safely. So when you think about that mixed emotion, a roller coaster emotion, they leave the home. So you've, got that inner feeling, and you I think there's a part of your heart that just doesn't let go, or doesn't sigh, or doesn't have time to relax until now that loved one's back at the house. So you imagine just that feeling of that roller coaster for years on end. And especially those that decide to commit and serve, their full career, their entire life. That's a lot.
It sure is. And, their families, they give up so much as well. And, many people would say, well, they chose that. And no, in actuality, okay, I get why people say that, but it's so much more than that. It is a calling. It is a rise to the occasion. It is fulfilling something within themselves to help others. Not everybody can do what they do, and yet they do it with such amazing, great,
Bravery. just
Bravery,
bravery and
dignity.
mindset.
Yeah,
Think of all the physical trainings they have to go through and the reenactments of different situations, and even as far as when they're off duty, how do they ever turn that switch totally off? I don't think they ever actually do, because they're always prepared to be called out, you know, for the job.
right.
And
They're always on call.
yeah,
I mean, just because a state trooper or somebody may leave their job for the evening, that doesn't mean that they've turned that aspect off. I mean,
correct.
so kudos to all those, amazing men and women that just give so much of themselves and their families. Triumph Tuesday, I triumphed over straightening up my desk today, got a lot of things done and a lot of scanning completed. I'm almost up to date, and I've made an affirmation or a promise to myself that every day when the mail comes in, because I was behind in the mail, and yeah, I had a little stack, and I guess from traveling back and forth, things started to pile up. So I am up to date, but I've made a promise to myself that every day the mail comes in, I go through it. If it's junk mail, it gets thrown away. If it's a bill, it gets paid, it gets scanned, and then I'm done. And it works out so much better. And how I love my apps. Of course, and I may have talked about this app before. It's called Evernote. It's like a digital filing system. I totally forgot they had tags, and I was reminded of it today. So I've been tagging everything. So say, for instance, I'm looking for a water bill, the tag is water bill, or however I have it listed. And even if I misfile it under, the wrong digital folder, it brings up, all the bills. So I'm like, ooh, like that.
There you go. So you triumphed over a lot today. That's awesome. That's amazing. Well, we want to know what you've triumphed over, and we always talk about that word, because the word, when you hear it, sounds big, large, huge, right? And we know that little goals are also just as important as the big ones. Little triumphs are so important, because those are the stepping stones that are going to lead you to those bigger triumphs. And yes, believe it or not, there are bigger triumphs. So keep score, keep track of what you are doing, what those little stepping stones are leading to. Check off those check boxes. It's such a good feeling to look at something, physically look at something, and see your progress of where you're going towards the ultimate goal. Because when you reach that, it's another big pat on the back. And guess what? Then you start all over again on other things that you want to be striving for or working towards. And remember not to clutter. Maybe we talked about it yesterday. Don't clutter your Pinterest board or your to-do list or your goals board. Keep it simple. Simple's best. Simple will allow you to see achievements even in the days where you feel like you haven't achieved anything. And we always say the number 3, the power of 3, is a great number to go with, don't you think?
I love that. And on that note, yeah, definitely go to our website and tell us what you've triumphed over, or maybe you have a suggestion that you're like, oh my God, this works so great, I've got to let them know. Let us know, and we want to share that, because chances are, if you share that, that's going to inspire somebody else to take action in their lives. And how amazing is that? That's something to triumph over. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with 2
sisters, and this is Carol, so aka Naughty Boss. We will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I believe we are on. Or do we have a guest on tomorrow?
No guests for May, but are we lined up for June, July, and August.
I know. I keep getting all those emails, and it's going to be pretty exciting. We love sharing everything that's health, wellness, mindset, and keeping you organized, talking about politics, talking about what's going on in the schools, talking about your community. We love to hear any subject matter that you want us to chat about or find out about or get a guest about, to share whatever that is what you're interested in. Again, please contact us at our website and we will gladly get on that. We've got a great lineup coming, but we will see you tomorrow for my favorite day of the week, Wealth Wellness Wednesday. You guys have a great night. And remember, look out for what your triumphs are. Dig deep. I know you achieved something. Pat yourself on the back. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.